Miss me? I'm back, at least for 1 week at this point. Our guy, maybe 2 weeks. Our guy, Joe Hardin, is out on the trail of the Vol State 500, almost chinched him a 400K, which would have been a sad sight. But so while Joe is out there trudging along at Vol State, I am back for the week. And I'm joined by my guy, Santino, and we are going to be talking about music that you would listen to during a 12K, which Santino and I just did, or a 500K, which is what Joe is out doing. Dude, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. It's a Monday and it's definitely
It's
a Monday.
Mondaying.
But hey, it's what's in your earbuds Monday, so it can't be all bad, right?
That's right. That's right. And I'm going to try to figure out why our Instagram isn't working once again. I was going to crap on you, but it seems like I shouldn't because it's not clicking in over there.
Maybe
But
it's just
anyway,
because I'm here. That's gotta be what it is.
maybe while it says it's sending data, so that's a step in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah.
While we wait for that to go live, let's talk about the 12K race that we did, which was Stunner at Aravaipa. You did have earbuds in, did you not?
I did have earbuds in, yeah.
And were you listening to music the entire time?
I was. So I didn't usually I make a playlist ahead of time, but just because I well, okay. I had registered same day, and I have a weird thing about I'm not going to make my playlist until I'm registered.
Okay.
So just didn't have time. I wasn't going to sit there, in the 20 minutes beforehand. So it's like, okay, let me just play what I've been listening to training because I'm treating this like a training run anyway. But it was overall a good mix that I had. Definitely kind of got me through. Not that there was any, real rough patches. A 12K goes by fast enough that even when even when you're feeling it, it's like, okay, I'm only going to be feeling it for what? I mean, a couple more minutes. But
For an
yeah, no, the
hour and
music
20.
the music worked out really well for me.
That's cool. What was in the playlist that you chimed in with?
Well, I had I've been listening to the new Primus EP pretty much daily since it came out. Joe and we talk about that weekly, but that's getting heavy rotation this training block. So gave that a listen. Had a little Santa Gold in there. I believe at one point even a little Tool popped up for our guy Joe. Um, Trying to think. Oh, and then for whatever reason, Apple Music just took me on kind of an '80s adventure. So I got a little.
Oh,
What's
like hip hop?
Dramarama, something like that. Um, who else? Me first. Um, but yeah, just kind of some '80s pop, whatever. Which that's kind of nice out on the trail. And I don't even remember what I finished with, to be honest with you. Usually, like I try and memorize my crossing the finish line songs, but at that point, I was having a little bit of a foot issue, and it's like I'm just ready to be done. So.
The DJ was actually playing some half decent music at the finish line at that race.
No, definitely. It was a good environment overall, just in terms of like the music, and it wasn't too much. It was just kind of just right, just enough to make sure everybody's awake and paying attention.
I don't know what's happening here with our stream over on Instagram. It's not allowing me to go live, unfortunately. So we will still be having this conversation. At least it's on Facebook at this moment. What do you like? We've been engaged with Joe
Yeah.
over the course of the last 2.5, 3 days. He has not mentioned what he's listening to music wise. I would imagine he's listening to some stuff, right? Or is it too dangerous for him to be on the road running?
I mean, yeah, there's got to be, because it seems like, there's going to be stretches where you're just kind of out there by yourself. And that might be the time you don't want to be listening to music because you got to be a little bit more heads up. But there's got to be times where I don't think I'd even want to attempt such a thing without
Yeah.
without having, some sort of a distraction from time to time. So I'm assuming he's got to be listening to something. Maybe that's we can reach out after this and shoot him a text, see if he's listening to anything. In fact, I'm gonna shoot him a text right now if he gets back to us while we're on the live.
That would be wild for him to just be like, yeah, by the way, because I believe Tennessee's Eastern time zone, so it's 7:30-ish over there. So he's probably still moving. I know he did say he was going to be heading up into the in a little bit of a dense woods, if I'm not mistaken, when he goes out there.
Yeah.
So that might preclude him from having access at that point. But it seems like he's been pretty responsive to us almost instantaneously.
Yeah. Well, and I just checked his tracker earlier today, and it looked like he was at 159 at the last check-in. So he's basically halfway home at this point.
I mean, it's amazing, dude. Like the idea, look, he's doing 314 miles, I think is what it comes out to specifically.
Yeah.
And I have run Cocodona, which is 250 miles, but that's another 100K beyond.
God, when you put it in those terms, right? That's
right. Like it's wild to think about. Like that's another 100K that he still has to go, and that's not a small amount of miles.
No, because I mean, this is it's Cocodona, and then it's literally, another ultra.
Black Canyon.
Right. Yes. So you just finished Cocodona, you're rolling right into Black Canyon now. Like that's literally what he's doing. That's when you put it along those terms, like already his jersey's in the rafters. He's a Hall of Famer, but this is a legendary thing right there.
Do you know that he actually has DNF'd, I'm almost positive, every 100-miler he's done until this point.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
And so it's a big freaking deal for him to, get past that 100-mile marker at this event. And I wonder if he's able to sort of bask in the glory of it, because when you get there, you still have 214 miles to go, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, be proud of the thing that you've just done. Like, that's impressive.
No, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing, no matter what happens from here on out, he's always got that accomplishment now. He can't say anymore that 100-mile distance has defeated him every time. And beyond that, he's working on his second 100-mile currently. He's closer to 200 than he is to 100 at this point.
Wild.
Which, God, that's when you put it in those terms. Again, this is not in no way me diminishing, when you talk about people doing like the PCT and stuff like that, but that's over the course of months. And granted, that's like 2,000 miles or something, but still, you break that down over months. It's like, okay, I can handle it. He's doing this over the course of a couple days. Like, that's wild when you put it in those terms. It's a superhuman feat.
It is unbelievable. And was it him? No, Craig. When Craig was running the show Running Tales through the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network a few years ago, he had Addison Hendrickson on the show, who last I checked was in first place on this year's version of the Vol State 500K. And so it's pretty cool to be able to be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy was on our Everyday Athlete Podcast Network at one point, and now he's out there chasing that goal of winning it. I don't think he had won it when Craig had him on at the time, but now he's got a chance to win it seems like, which is pretty damn cool.
No, and honestly, anybody who gets out there and just even participates, I am in awe of your resolve to do that. But could you imagine being out there, and not only am I doing this, not only am I going to finish, but finishing first at a distance like that, that's just
bananas, right?
I guess somebody's got to come in first, but still, that's wild.
Yeah, it's just wild how that happens. Dude, I wonder if part of our problem with going live on Instagram right now is I had changed our profile to be a creator's profile from a professional profile. And I wonder if that's what's causing us all these issues with Restream there.
I wonder. I mean, it shouldn't matter because obviously you have creators who do lives and they aren't all doing lives on IG. So it seems like Restream just likes to be very touchy at times. Restream, if you're watching the replay of this, have somebody reach out to us. We can give you some customer feedback.
Always. I'm trying to think about what Joe would like. Do you think he's queuing up different? Because I remember at one point he was going to put the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network playlist on because it was somewhere in the vicinity of like 80 hours.
Yeah.
And that would have gotten him pretty far. And that playlist is eclectic. I mean, everything from like Korean hip hop to Polish music that Marin had entered on there to all kinds of stuff. I know there was kid show songs on there. So he would have had everything on there. Do you think at some point he's like, okay, I'm going to need something that's consistent? And so it'd be like either consistent heavy metal, consistent hip hop, like just something like that?
I'd imagine, because like think about it like this. Now I know you don't listen to music always when you train, but I'm sure you do from time to time. If you're just really in the thick of it and the wrong song comes on, it can ruin everything. So there's definitely got to be certain points where he's like, nope, I've got to have X, Y, and Z queued up here just to kind of take me over whatever this hump is.
It gotta be, right? Like, and I would imagine that it involves going back to like in moments, because I know he has often spoken about how that he and Cassie have songs from when they first started dating and when they first got married. I would imagine that that's like a blanket, and it's some of those stretches where he's listening to the music from his early days with his now wife when she was his girlfriend. I just knowing him, I would think that those are the songs that are going to help keep him moving because he's got like that warm embrace from his wife.
Yeah, and Joe is, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. I mean this in the most complimentary sense, but Joe is a very sentimental guy. So that's probably where he's gonna get some of that extra, whatever, dig down a little deeper. And again, don't mean that in a bad way. In fact, I love it for him, but that could almost be like a secret weapon for him or something,
100%. So I just put our note up on Instagram story because I'm getting angry with Restream not being able to broadcast this thing.
Which, it's Restream. Get your shit together, seriously.
Well, not only that, dude, but my headphones just told me I've got only about 10% left.
Oh no, that was okay. So that was me today. Again, earbuds. It's one of those where when you're struggling to get out the door anyway, every time without fail. And I know, we can get into the whole like real runner debate, whatever. I like AirPods. I'm sorry, I do. But every time without
wait. What's the argument? Earbuds?
Apparently, like real runners don't use AirPods. You got to have shocks or whatever. And it's good for you. I got nothing bad to say about shocks. I just prefer AirPods. So
that might be the wildest thing I have ever heard, dude.
Oh,
seriously?
Yeah, but you know how it goes. You're out in these social media streets with some of these. It's wild sometimes. It's wild. It's what was the guy today? Something about marathon runners get cortisol or something. And it's like, do y'all just have a dartboard with like all the buzzwords and throw whatever, and this is what you're gonna complain about today? Like, but
what do you think the prompt on ChatGPT is? It's got to be something like, "Hey, chat, give me something that's just gonna make people's heads explode."
Right, because
that has to be.
It's got to just be like trolling for the sake of trolling at this point. This is because it's Threads. It's not a monetized platform, but like you're just throwing this engagement bait out here, huh? This is what you want to do with your time. So hopefully for their sake, they really are having like chat come up with this, because like if you're just sitting around thinking these things up, like, oh boy, you got to find yourself a new hobby, buddy.
Yeah, seriously, you really, really do. Like, there's got to be something else out there that you're not doing that you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, you're like, I don't get it, man. Like the idea that you just want to piss people off. Like, I will say this: I posted about what do you think is an everyday athlete earlier today on Threads.
Yeah,
and somebody posted, and their description they said real athlete, and it was tied to compensation. And I went for a walk today to go to the mailbox to drop off stuff for the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse new members. And I thought about this and I'm like, compensation, I don't know is the guiding force that I would use to what makes an everyday athlete. And also not even real. He used the term, I think it was a he, they, let me rephrase just in case. They used the phrase real athlete. And I thought, well, there's Olympians that don't technically get paid.
Yeah. Like,
right.
What about college athletes before a couple of years ago?
I would also add in this, like Michael Jordan is no longer cashing paychecks from the Bulls, but he plays a ton of golf. So is he no longer a real athlete because he's not getting paid to play golf?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Right. Like, so I don't know that compensation is the answer to what is a real athlete. But the whole premise of bringing this up was simply that it was a conversation that he and I were having, and I appreciated the fact that it was a conversational tone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't one of those scenarios in which people are yelling, you know, oh, you're an asshole, or you're this, or you're that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, and that's definitely one of those things. Okay, we could really get into the semantics of it, and you could say a pro athlete, and for sure, yeah, I could see that argument. But then, by that logic, say for example, the other day, and I still take the ownership of the everyday athlete title, but it was something that I struggled with up until very recently. But like, I ran stunner in a singlet that I was given for free that would have cost me $80-something if I would have bought it. So
Right.
Does that make me a real athlete now? Because I technically got compensated for, in merchandise. I don't. That's a whole other can of worms right there for sure.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? Like that is an absolute great point in that by the IRS's definition, you are a paid athlete.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You were absolutely a paid athlete in that moment because you took money for you took product in lieu of money. So you were technically a paid athlete at that moment. Yeah.
Which I mean, okay, hey, I'll take it. Anything to anything to pat my own self on the back. Okay, Joe just got back to us, by the way. Approaching 200 miles.
Nice.
Did he didn't answer my question about what he's listening to, though. Be like, did you see the second part of the question?
This is like talking to some clients sometimes, dude. Like, I asked you a question. Why are you not answering this question? So between Restream and Mark Zuckerberg, like, I don't understand. Like, it keeps popping back and forth between unable to connect and sending data. So I don't see us going live on Instagram anytime soon. But going back to the idea of yelling at each other on the internet and stuff like that, it is remarkable, dude, that over the course of 6 years that we have had almost nearly zero go fuck yourself comments back to what we do here. Like that, you know how rare that is?
No, that's true. That is true. Well, and I think it's one of those things where honestly, you don't need to feed the trolls. That's kind of one of the fundamental rules of internet discourse. But beyond that, we do have such a inclusive community where I think if we tried to, just make sure that everybody's moving in the same direction at the same pace, same goals, whatever this and that, eventually you're gonna get, more of that pushback, and probably most people will leave, but then you'd have, some real stubborn people digging their heels in and, hey, wait a second, you guys suck and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, not saying it's right, but it's like, I could get where that would come from in a situation like that. So I do think just overall kind of fostering this sense of community where we cast a very wide net, which that sounds ominous, and I don't mean it like that. We have a big table. That sounds better.
Yeah.
We have a big table, and there's room for everyone. So
go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, no, I was just going to say, so because of that, I don't think that, you're getting that frustration. Like, yeah, you'll get dumbasses who want to come through and troll from time to time, but it's not, nobody's paying attention to them, because we're here, we're doing our thing. You hit block, and you move on. That's the way I look at it.
That's it, dude. Like, um, we're not for everybody and everybody's not for us. And that's
Yeah.
fine. That's just the way life works. Right. And so sometimes you just have to hit that block button, as you mentioned, and move on.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have one person who made a statement and got into it with me, and I blocked them there, and they sent a DM on Instagram and they were like, you might as well block me here too. And I was like, cool, block. Like,
Have it your way, buddy.
and I'm a big Burger King fan, so that was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you asked for, you got what you asked for, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, right? So,
Absolutely.
but it is wild, and here's what's wild too, man. Like, we've had various marketing partners throughout the 6 years, and even with that, because people get defensive about the brands that they love,
Yeah.
but they have yet to just come out and yell like, that brand sucks, why are you doing business with them? And I'm not, look, we do our due diligence to work with partners that are going to be contributing to the community as opposed to renting the community on their behalf, right?
Yes.
And so, like, it's wild that even in those scenarios, there have been very few moments where people have yelled. Topo was a longtime partner of ours, and there were a few moments throughout the 4 or 5 years, I think 5 years they were with us, that we've had people say, oh, this shoe sucks and it breaks and it does this, that, and the other thing, without, and I'm like, look, I don't work at Topo. This is not a Topo owned account, right? Like, that's an argument you need to take up with them. But even then, dude, we don't get people yelling at us for being dipshits for working with certain marketing partners.
Well, and I do think value alignment is a huge part of it. I think that's kind of a rule that I wish a lot more creators would follow. And I'm not saying, oh, you can't work with X, Y, and Z because I don't like them or whatever, this and that. But, there are those creators out there that they're cool. You know what I'm saying? Or at least
Yeah.
that's what their outward persona is. But then they'll work with, some brands that we definitely wouldn't. I'm just thinking about, there's certainly been brands that have approached you specifically before, and it's almost like, do you know anything about what we do here?
That is one of the funniest
is
things,
not a
is when
good
people
fit.
are like, hey, by the way, and I'm like, man, like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, honestly. Like, this is not the right spot. Like, oftentimes it's people who want to be podcast guests.
Yes.
And oftentimes those podcast guests, I'm like, did you listen to an episode? Like, one, let
Right.
alone the years of episodes, but like, even just one, have you not listened to the conversation? And you clearly have not, because you don't fit,
No, absolutely not. And I'd say even beyond that, I will say, and this is not me blowing smoke up the asses of our community here. I really believe in our community, but we have a community who understands a bit more. It goes back to the debate. Go on Threads, go on wherever. You get somebody, oh, I'm getting into running. What's the best running shoes? Well, the best running shoes are the best shoes for you. So I think that's the thing right there. I know personally there are members of the community who I get along with really well who absolutely hate Nike, which I wear all the time. And Nike, if anyone from Nike is listening, y'all are fucking up right now. I got to be honest, but that's a topic for a different debate. But it's like, they still understand that it's like they dislike this company, but it's what works for me. So it's not like, oh, you're an idiot for wearing X, Y, and Z. So I do think that's part of it too. There's a certain maturity level among our listeners, among our community, that you don't necessarily see in the internet at large, because we do live in this world where, like, it's not. And of course, agree to disagree has certainly been weaponized too, and we can go off on a whole
Yes, it
other tangent there, but
has.
this is supposed to be a fun show. It's not agree to disagree, but there is some level of these people that, if I don't like a thing, anybody who likes it is stupid and this and that and what.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect example. Now we're gonna go off on a tangent about food. You're a food guy, and you're from New York, so you know how it goes. People have very strong opinions about certain things. Seems like pizza, of course, but like bagels it's not enough to say, oh, New York bagels are the best bagels. It's got to be fucking whoever's on 100 and whatever street, and if you don't like that, then you're an idiot and whatever. And it's like, no, I've never been to that place. But some people have very strong opinions, and for whatever reason, if yours aren't 100% in alignment with them, that's when they want to get super argumentative.
100%. I would say don't go to Essa Bagel because it is a tourist trap mostly these days, because it's on 3rd Avenue around 47th to 48th in that vicinity, maybe a little further north. We used to get bagels there all the time. The company I worked for, every Friday we would have bagels from that place, and it became uber commercialized to the point where it just didn't feel the way New York felt. The bagels didn't change, dude, right? It just didn't feel New York anymore because there were lines like you wouldn't believe. So I have found other places when I go back to New York to get my bagels. But that being said, if you went to Essa Bagel, I'm not going to be like, you're a shithead. That's just dumb.
Right? Yes.
It's a fucking bagel.
Yes.
Like, let's get over ourselves.
Right. So that's the thing. And obviously I think we do all have our strong food opinions, but holy smokes, I think that's probably the best example where there are people with very strong opinions who they don't see it as their opinion. They see it as the right opinion. And it's like, now apply that to running, apply that to, our sponsors, apply that to the gear that we like, things like that. And that's where I think a lot of the weird headbutting and clashing over, absolute minutia that doesn't really change anything in the great scheme of things comes from.
It's one of the reasons why I'm really pissed off that we are not able to get this show live on Instagram right now, is because people like Chris Cedar, people like Ryan Reynolds, people like Chrissy Murphy, who have chimed in and have this amazing array of music that they listen to.
Absolutely.
And literally everything from AC/DC to Z, Led Zeppelin. Like, they're listening. Or ZZ Top would probably be a better one because Led Zeppelin would be an L. But they're listening to all of that stuff and everything in between. And the thing that I have missed over the last handful of weeks with not being on the show is they know their music, right? And they love their music and they present their music. And like, for me, who is not as big of a music aficionado, to say, no, hip hop is the only thing you can listen to. Hip hop is the only type of music. And it has to be only from New York City. It can't be from Oakland, and it can't be from Atlanta, and it can't be from Houston, and it can't be from Detroit, and it can't be from wherever. Like, that's crazy to me.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Why would you take this massive world and shrink it down to a pin dot?
Absolutely. And really, and obviously, I'm a music guy myself. I try not to really have anything that it's like I won't listen to, whatever. Obviously, there's certain artists, things like that, that I'm not a fan of. But in terms of genres, you got to be able to expand your horizons here. And now take that from music and apply that to life. You know what I'm saying? Think of all the fun you're missing out on, in your own little enclave, just thinking, oh, I've got the best around and I don't need whatever else, and anything that I don't like is terrible, whatever. So, it is, it's a little frustrating that we don't have the audience chiming in today, because those contributions oftentimes end up, leading to really great discoveries.
100%. I know, like, there's been so much music from that Ryan Reynolds has contributed to this show over the years, that, and everybody, Chrissy, Derek, you, Joe, like, I will say this, like, when people say something, I would say 6, 7 out of 10 times I've never heard the music or the artist or anybody. And Joe's like, he takes a moment and he goes, oh yeah. And my first thought is, you're full of shit, dude. Like, you don't know who that is. and then he says something and that proves that he knows it, right? And it always amazes me the amount of knowledge that you guys have when it comes to not just genre, but then artist, and then song, and then year, and then moment it hit you. Like, that is wild to me, dude. Like, that is unbelievably wild to me.
Well, it's so strongly connected to so many different memories, So you do think about music in terms of like snapshots of your own life. You know, again, growing up in a place like New York City, I'm sure you were just, you know, completely surrounded by so many different cultures and this and that and whatever, where it's literally you're walking down the street and you're hearing music playing from people's cars, from people's
Yeah.
windows, whatever it is. And you get a little snippet of something, and it might not have been something you would have ever listened to before, but it's stuck in your head. Then you get home and you got to look it up. And we didn't have the internet in those days, but you know, maybe you're at the wherever the what was it? What was it? Tower? I think Tower was a West
Tower
Coast.
Records was a
You
big
had
one.
Tower
Yeah.
out there too. Okay, you're
Yep.
at Tower and you're talking to, you know, one of the people. And it's like, hey, I heard, you know, whatever, help me out here. And maybe they know it, maybe they don't. But it's like, oh shit, this is so cool. I'm discovering, you know, whatever. And I think that's a big part of it, at least for me. You just kind of maintain this almost like Rolodex in the back of your head. It's not even necessarily, oh, this artist is so great, whatever, this and that, but it's like, oh, I came across this at X, Y, and Z time. And, you know, it's just kind of stamped in that moment in the back of my brain.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like actually, as you were talking about Tower Records, visually in my mind, the what I thought of was in today's society, right? We think about influencers,
Yes.
millions of followers down to thousands of followers, and everything in between. And we tend to gravitate towards, oh, this influencer who has 50,000 followers, whatever. And so I thought of that in the context of a record store, right? Where sure, Marvin Gaye is going to be up front, or Luther Vandross, and obviously I'm dating myself, Michael Jackson back then would be up in the front. But then if you scroll through the catalog of albums that they had and you go somewhere deep, you're going to find somebody that is producing very good music you just don't know much about. And so take the chance and listen to it. And I like, is social media our world of the record store now?
You know, I could see it. I could totally see it, definitely. Because
Right?
it's okay. Think about it. Think about it along these lines. I don't know if it was the same for you, but like in high school or whatever, say it's Friday, you get out of school. It's like, I'm not going home, whatever, this and that. I'm gonna go hang out with my, you know, fellow little reprobates and whatever. At some point you end up in the Bay Area, we had Amoeba, we had Rasputin, we had whatever, you know, kind of the indie record stores.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I'm gonna grab, you know, whoever on CD or whatever, this and that. Like you said, you walk in, they got it up front, you grab it. You're not,
Yeah.
you didn't just go just to get this one thing. So it's like, okay, let's hang out, let's, you know, walk around, explore, whatever. And you start kind of flipping through back catalogs, and then you go to like the import section, whatever, this and that. Before you know it, you've grabbed 4 or 5 albums. And it's like, okay, not only am I set for music for the weekend, I'm set for music for the next little bit here. And you know, it is kind of, it was a communal experience, but then at the same time also a very individual experience. And so it could very well be that that the influencer culture has kind of translated to that. Maybe not even necessarily like as a one-to-one thing as far as music is concerned, but just overall, you do kind of discover things you didn't even know you were looking for, just by accessing this kind of very
Yeah.
mainstream thing that was right up front.
Do we have one hit wonders in the influencer space the way we have one hit wonders in the music space?
Yes, I would say
Okay.
yes.
Can you name an influencer that you would say is a one? Do you recall one?
I don't know. Well, okay. So here's, what's your definition of influencer? Is it okay? Maybe not. Maybe I might
Whatever
have to change
definition
my
you want to
answer.
use.
So what I was thinking is you have people who went viral for like one thing. They weren't necessarily like influencers, but they had their
Right.
15 minutes.
The
So say
cranberry
like
juice dude on the
yeah,
skateboard.
yeah, exactly. The cranberry, or I was thinking like I don't like him, but Salt Bay is another one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Good
so
one. Good call.
I would say those count as like your influencer one-hit wonders, and a
Yes.
lot of them parlayed that into, you know, bigger and better. I know Salt Bay's got restaurants, and the cranberry juice
Yeah.
guy has been in TV shows and stuff like that.
He
But
has?
yeah, oh yeah, he was in an episode of Reservation Dogs. If you've never watched that show, it's fantastic. But yeah, that's the thing. So it's like good for you for kind of harnessing your 15 minutes and turning it into something. But you don't see them as like influencers the same way that you see you know, some of the others. And honestly, that might be a good thing.
Are you trying to say that some influencers should be one-hit wonders?
All I'm saying is the world might be a better place if certain people's reach didn't extend as far as it did, and we'll leave it at that.
But I will go back. So I mean, this is a music show, but I guess by definition in some sense. So we're going to try to bring this all around, always focusing on music. So we talked earlier today, like, are you putting into ChatGPT, give me the most vile take I can have about running, and whatever ChatGPT spits out, you go and you post on Threads or you make a reel on Instagram, and it creates likes, I guess, followers, whatever it does. Do you think artists that are making music do that as well? So like, do you like Drake and Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
I like that is a beef. And I don't think, I could be wrong, that it was, I'm going to just start this with this guy over this music. I think there was an actual dislike, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That created this scenario that we have today. And they're not the first two artists to have a beef that we've seen. And so like is there a moment, do you think, where it's contrived? Like does Miley Cyrus go into ChatGPT and like create lyrics to shout at Pink? I have no, I'm making it all up.
Well, you make a good point. I'm sure it's probably happened, because I'm sure there's probably like a thing. A lot of it is, and you've heard me go off on this rant before. I don't know how public I've gone with it, but I get incredibly frustrated with the fact that like all of life is wrestling these days. Everything is kind of done for the reaction of the crowd, you know? So I'm sure with the control that a lot of record labels have over the industry right now, there probably is sort of like a, hey, why don't you two guys kind of get into it a little bit, and this'll boost sales for both of you or something. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
So I'm going to turn that back around to the influencer space then. Do you think that there are influencers out there that are collaborating that are, I'm going to take this approach, I don't give a shit. Like you and I could do this, dude. You wear Nikes, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care that you wear Nikes, right? That's on you to make that decision. And we actually talked about this on the way to the bus at Stunner on Saturday. Like, I won't buy Nikes, even though I loved the Wild Horse trail shoe. For various reasons, I won't buy Nikes. You're buying Nikes, but you and I aren't wrestling over it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we could conceivably just start right now and be like, dude, just keep leaning into Nike, and I'll just keep railing against Nike to draw attention. Right? That's easy. Yeah. We could do that.
Yeah.
Do you? This is my naivete. Clearly, do you think that there are influencers out there that are like, look, I'm going to take this stance, and you take the other one, and we could drive likes and follows and engagement?
There's got to be. And that's the thing. I'm not as in the trenches as some of the younger people. Now I sound very old, young people shaking my fist at the clouds. But like, I'm sure like the people who kind of know, that are in the know about like influencers and whatever, there's got to be some level of theatrics to some of these influencer feuds for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so wild. Like, what's an influencer feud? Do you know of any?
I don't know of any major ones. There's actually a guy I follow from, I think he's from New Jersey. I don't know. He's kind of a video essayist, but he just kind of makes comments about, you know, popular things. Like he had one about all the weird, like dirty sodas that are taking over everywhere. And he had one about like crumble cookies and whatever. And so there was some other video essayist from YouTube or TikTok or whatever that was like, oh, he's only talking about base level, whatever, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there were shots fired back and forth there. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a full-on beef, but you could tell these two were, nobody was really willing to give an inch in this discussion. And it's, again, I'm probably a little too old. I'm not the target audience for you know, influencers butting heads. So I don't think I was getting out of it what a lot of the audience was. But if nothing else, I learned of the existence of this other person just through watching this one. So I'm sure, you know, just to kind of go back to it, I'm sure say you and I are both influencers and engagement is down, and it's like, I don't know you, but I kind of know you, whatever. It's like, hey, I'm gonna talk some shit. You talk some shit back. Let's see if we get some people paying attention here.
Okay, if you are listening or watching this show at any point from July 13th on into the future, don't. Like, I am not going to entertain this. I don't have the fucking patience for it. Trust me when I tell you that. Like, I just don't. I remember years ago, Dan Le Batard talking about Stephen A. Smith. And Dan Le Batard said, I wish I had the passion for something that actually matters the way he seems to have a passion for shit that doesn't. Yeah. Meaning Stephen A. Smith, right? Yeah. And in that moment when I heard that, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, there were very few things I'm going to be overly passionate about. Like, look, I love the Mets. Yeah. The Mets suck right now. They are a horrible team. I don't put it on. Like, it's okay to not watch the Mets and get angry for 162 games. I'll put it on if they shit the bed in inning one. I turn it off. Like, it's okay.
No, for sure. And okay, so I will say I'm certainly not above rolling in the mud from time to time. Now, when I lived in the Bay Area, unfortunately, it was during the time when the Giants were going on their big run. And it was difficult being a Dodgers fan around that time. And I don't know that it was so much, oh, I'm out here, looking for trouble, whatever, this and that. But you can only take so much needling before you start punching back, that sort of thing.
I don't disagree. I had a family member when Juan Soto was signing with the Mets, and he was crapping all over Juan Soto. And I just said, look, dude, if this is where you're going, we can just stop talking altogether. And I haven't said a word to that family member since, because I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care enough that Juan Soto signed a contract and the Mets and he left the Yankees. Don't care.
It's weird. It's parasocial. It's parasocial in like a reverse kind of way, when people are so angry at, whatever this and that, athlete or whatever for going. It's like, yo, you know what? I let me think. Like, Houston Astros, probably even more than the Giants. I dislike the Houston Astros. If I am a baseball prospect and I feel so passionately about how much I hate them, but they're the ones who draft me and they offer me, a multi-million-dollar contract. Hey, you know what? Give me that stupid hat with the star on it. You know what I'm saying? Let me get out there. So that's the whole thing. I ain't mad at any of these players for going anywhere. That's how you got to look at it. But like, people really want to act like it's like, did Juan Soto like say something to you personally? Why are you worried about it?
Right. Like, he did like it's way too over the top, man. By the way, Heather is volunteering to start some beef with you, some online beef with you, so we can get some clicks.
There we go. Excellent.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you knew this already, but I think it's on 83rd up here in Phoenix, there is a swig. You mentioned dirty sodas earlier. There is a swig.
We got one now.
Yeah, we got one now. We'll have to make a road. Well, it's not really a road trip. We'll just have to drive out there one day.
Definitely got to go check it out. Now, have you thought about what's your post SF meal getting back into town? Because we're definitely going to have to hit up somewhere fun in the Bay Area. But coming back into town, what are you looking forward to after?
Back into town here in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've got to stop at either Green or Earth, dude. Like, I haven't been to Earth since we've been back here, and that's 2.5 weeks of negligence on our part for not going to Earth at this point. It is so good.
So you got to show me the ropes there for sure, because I've never been, and I should be embarrassed to say that because I've been out here long enough. I shouldn't. But Green is next level. That I don't even remember the name of that. It's not. I don't know what they're using for their chicken. It's obviously not chicken. It's a vegan restaurant. But that chicken sandwich I had the other day when we were out there, that was just.
They haven't had the Nashville hot chicken that's made with hen of the woods mushrooms.
Yeah.
They had it one time as a special, and they never had it again before we left. And every time we've been back there not only since we've returned, but even before while we were visiting, they haven't had it on the menu. And I don't know if hen of the woods are just too damn expensive to harvest or whatever. But that was one of the best Nashville hot chicken and air quote sandwiches I've ever had, dude. It's so good.
No, they do a phenomenal job there, and of course, next door is the bakery Nami, and they've
Yep.
got anyone who's listening right now. If you are in the area, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's one of the best donut shops in the Phoenix
Yes.
area. Not
Yes.
vegan donut shops, just all around. Those
Yes.
those donuts at Nami are next level.
10 out of 10 times go in there over Bosa Donuts. That's just, mass produced type stuff. 10 out of 10 times over Dunkin' Donuts. Any of these coffee shops that aren't mom and pop coffee shops, you go to Nami for the donuts there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
They have did you ever get the chai donut that they have there? Because
I don't believe so. No.
that one is the next level of their next level donuts, dude. It is so good.
So that's well, okay, well, and honestly,
That's the
we've
Michael
got
Jackson. This is a music show. That's the Michael Jackson of
that's
their
the
donut. In
Michael
my
Jackson.
world, that's the Michael Jackson of their
For
donuts.
sure. Well, we've got I don't know. Well, we've announced it on IG, but we've got some plans for some early mornings in Phoenix coming up starting next month. So
Yep.
we might have to have a donut after party one of these days.
Hell yeah, dude. For those of you who are listening, if you're in the Phoenix area, August 5th, starting at 5:30 a.m., we are going to be doing the Everyday Athlete Run and Coffee Club starting at Songbird, which I believe is 812 3rd Avenue
Yes.
or 3rd Street. I don't know.
Third Street. Third
3rd
Street.
Street. Yeah, 3rd Street. 812 3rd Street in downtown Phoenix. We're going to have a 2.5 to 3.5 mile run. We will have scratch labs, which I posted about this on on Threads today, dude. The case with the powder came in. My goodness, like they must have sent me like their entire warehouse.
Nice.
I had trouble carrying it. That's how heavy it was. I was like, holy crap. So we'll have scratch for before and after the run to help people out too. And then you're right, maybe one of those Wednesdays we'll just get in the car and drive. It's probably like 5 minutes up the road.
Yeah, it's just around the corner because it's 7th, so 4 blocks over. Yeah.
Yep, and you're already up on Roosevelt, so you just go across 10 and you're right there. So
absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely. Donuts make good running recovery. Speaking of which, what else have you been using for recovery lately?
That's a great call, dude. Look, first of all, I believe you got home around 12:30 at night on Saturday.
That was an odyssey.
Yeah, we didn't get home. We didn't fall asleep or go to bed until like 1 a.m. that day. And the next morning, I made my coffee with Realand, which is one of our marketing partners. It's chocolate. I use the vegan variety. I think you have the whey version, right?
I do have the whey version, yes.
And so I just made an iced mocha with it, dude. And it just was on point because the body was needing everything at that moment, and getting a mocha in, caffeine plus the protein was like heaven sent.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's as you know, I like to mix mine with the cold brew, but it's literally, I am not just saying it because they're one of our partners, but I've tried a lot of different protein powders, and I was a big Ghost guy for a long time. Nothing against them, but if you're paying that much of a premium, you might as well go with the most premium option, and that's going to be Realand.
What's his name? John Gray.
Yeah.
Sent me a message a week or so ago that he tested out the Realand. He bought the whey version of it, and he said, and I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't have the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, "This is the best tasting chocolate protein he's ever used."
Yeah.
He said it was like chocolate tea, which is amazing, right? It's not just chocolate flavored; it has like rich chocolate flavor.
Absolutely. No, it's that, and obviously, being a newer company, that's what they're offering right now is the chocolate and the unflavored. But if you're a chocolate fan, there is no better chocolate flavored protein. I'll stand by that. If you know a better one, let me know. I'll try it. I'll try them side by side on camera, so you'll know if I'm lying. But I still think Realand will be better.
And then we'll start an influencer beef.
There we go.
Heather wants to know if you guys had gotten a vegan burrito and conchas at, I'm presuming at Green or Nami.
Oh no, she's talking about at Tacos Veganos.
Oh, at Tacos Veganos. Okay.
Yeah, they got the good vegan conchas there. I don't even like conchas that much because they're too dry and crumbly and overly sweet. But I don't know. I don't think they're making them there. Who knows? Maybe Nami's making them for them. Who knows? But
Who knows?
yeah, there's some vegan bakery that they're sourcing those from that are just fantastic.
Have you ever seen I'm going to say the real, there's probably millions of them, of when somebody bites into a concha and it's like confetti because it just crumbles all over the place?
No, I don't mean to disparage because obviously they're very popular. So I know it's a me thing, but it's like, what is fun about that? Just crumbs everywhere. Maybe I'm too neurotic to enjoy them. Maybe that's my problem.
We need Joe to make a video with sawdust, like where he's biting into a concha and then he just drops sawdust on himself.
Yeah, like I'm sure he's got I can't think of the name, whatever it's called now, the system that, sucks up the sawdust from all your machines. I'm sure he's got that in his workshop. So the next time he empties that, just film dumping all the sawdust out on the ground or something.
Oh, Jordan Curry, who is one of the newest members of the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse, has joined us on Facebook. And is she saying that I almost got a beef going with pineapple on pizza the other day?
Oh, well, that's true.
No, there's no beef. Whoever eats it is wrong. Like, there's no beef. I will say this. Like, I honestly really don't give a shit. Eat the pineapple on pizza, rock it, own it. It's just not for me. It's not something that I've ever gotten into because I've always thought of it this way. And maybe my mind could be changed at some point. But pineapple is acidic and tomato sauce is acidic. And like the idea of having acid on acid doesn't work well on my palate, which is why I turn it down. Like the acid on acid doesn't work for me.
No, I get that. And I'm allergic to pineapple, so I can't eat it anyway.
You're out.
I mean, I've had it on pizza before. And okay, let this blow your mind. Okay, Heather and I were both Cuban. Pineapple. She can't have mango. Like, between the two of us, all we got is guava. That's like the only like.
Are you guys sure you're Hispanic? What the fuck? Heather said that she thinks that a concha bath bomb would be so fun.
Nice. Yes. Wait, why has nobody done that? Because you do have a lot of the fun like novelty bath bombs. Like, although then that would be like you trick somebody. I don't know, man. When you were a kid, did you try and get people to eat like weird things like? Scrape the cream out of an Oreo and put mayo in it or something like that. Oh, here, try this. Like, so yeah, that might lead to some lawsuits or something if you had concha bath bombs.
Yeah, we don't want to kill anybody. Jordan is in agreement with me that acid on acid is a reason to not enjoy pineapple on pizza. But her friend who introduced her to the Everyday Athlete Clubhouse, Erin Landau, who has been in, I know we don't do it anymore, but the dance classes that we used to have with, and her husband Rob would join us. Erin is a big fan of pineapple on pizza. So all I said was, Erin can bring the pineapple on pizza. She just has to eat it on the other end of the table. And then when she's done, we can meet in the middle and have a conversation.
For sure. No, 100%. And that's my whole thing. It's like, if you like it, great, more for you. There's certain things that I won't eat, but at the same time, again, it goes back to the whole, like, you don't have to be right about everything.
That's right.
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Heather said that you guys were having a city hot dog conversation last night. And she said that we can turn that into a beef. And I don't know if the beef was being sarcastic, like all beef hot dogs. But like, I will say this, the Chicago dog is a thing I can't get behind because of the sliced tomatoes. Like, I don't understand the sliced tomatoes on the Chicago hot dog. So I'm out just for that reason alone.
I like the tomato. For me, it's the raw onions on the Chicago dog. And it's like, I will eat a Chicago dog and have them hold the onions. But then, like, there are people who are like, it's not a Chicago dog. And sorry, like, I didn't realize. We're eating this in Arizona, right? It's not from Chicago anyway. But yeah, no, the tomatoes I don't mind at all. It's the chunks of onion. And honestly, on any hot dog, and it's not even a flavor thing so much as a contrast thing with me. There's something off-putting about biting into the like crunchy onion bits with a hot dog.
Yeah. Jordan says we should take the concha Epsom bath salts and turn it into an Everyday Athlete Epsom salt.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Jordan, I have already 9,000 businesses in my head. I don't need another one, but
Hey,
thanks.
no, I was just gonna say, what's one more at this point?
Can't keep up. I go through notebooks left, right, and center because I can't keep up. I'll go back to a page and be like, oh, we should have done that. And it's like an idea from 3 years ago.
Right. But hey, maybe that's the thing. Maybe like 3 years down the line, working with whoever, it's like, hey, have you ever thought about a
Is
concha shaped
does
muscle
does
soak? Yeah,
does Bimbo make conchas?
they must. They
They
make
must,
everything.
right? They
Yeah,
make
they're like the
everything.
biggest bakery in the world, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got to at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure we could look up Bimbo conchas and somehow turn that concha into a Epsom salt bath. Well, you can't bite into it because you might kill people.
Yeah.
They'd have to figure out how to crumble it and then just drop in there.
Right? Now combine the two. Your concha hot dog. How are we gonna do this?
You're not. What?
I'm just saying.
Well, first of all, the concha is too big. You'd have to slice the hot dog and like,
That's
what do you,
because we were talking
spatchcock?
about.
You have to spatchcock the hot dog.
Well, because we were talking about what? Oh, because we came across. Now, do you know there's an official Puerto Rican style hot dog?
Okay, fill me in.
I don't even remember.
Heather said that you guys are horrible Cubans. I am now a horrible Puerto Rican. I didn't know there was a Puerto Rican hot dog.
I don't. Well, I don't know if this is like the official way they do it in Puerto Rico, or if maybe it's like a street vendor thing, and it's like it caught on. You know, like in LA, you get the bacon wrapped ones with like
the
onions and
Sonoran
peppers
dog
and
here.
So, yeah, maybe it's a similar deal. And I don't even remember what was on it other than the which big fan of Puerto Rican food, as you know, but I can't do the pink sauce. It had the pink sauce on it, which it's like Big Mac sauce is all it is, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
But it had like other things. There was like potato sticks and stuff.
Yes, potato sticks for sure. Now now I understand. Yeah, they almost make it like a Big Mac because it is the potato sticks are on there. Basically, what's a Thousand Island dressing type of thing is on there too. Yeah. So I don't know if that's an official Puerto Rican hot dog because look, growing up, we never had them in our house.
Yeah.
In our house, like it was your typical mustard and sauerkraut, and honestly, we were getting dirty water dogs from the street corners in New York City.
Oh, is that what the New York ones are called? Dirty?
That's what I call them. Like they're just sitting in boiling water the whole day, right? Like that water is not clean. Like there's no filtration system in there.
They fill that thing up in the morning and they dump it at night.
Out of a hose, dude. Like there's not filtered water. It's a hose connected to a spigot outside an apartment building on 165th and fucking Grand Concourse in the Bronx. He just fills it up. Whatever's in there is what you get. If that's the flavor, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's extra seasoning.
And then the dogs are just sitting in there all day. Like, so I just go dirty water dogs. And for me, it's the red onion sauce, mustard, and sauerkraut. Like, give me that, and I'm golden for the whole day. Golden.
No, for sure. And I find less is more, to be honest with you, because that was what I came up with as like, I don't even remember how the conversation started, but my favorite still to this day, and it doesn't exist anymore, sadly. When Farmer John made the Dodger dogs at Dodger Stadium, and you'd go towards like the pavilion in the back because they were actually grilling them like on a real grill. So you didn't want it like all around the stadium. It would get the whole concourse smoked up. But you get those ones from the grilled Dodger dogs with literally just a little yellow mustard. If I'm feeling extra fancy, maybe some sauerkraut. And that's the perfect hot dog for me.
I will say when I went to Dodger Stadium a number of years ago, Lori got me vegan Dodger dogs, and they were fantastic. Heather has a couple of ideas for us. She said that we should create a product for runner hydration called hot dog water. I don't know how well that'll sell, but we'll,
Hey, those pickle juice shots are everywhere now.
That's true. And she also said that we should be careful searching Bimbo Concha.
And for those not in the know, don't look that up, obviously. But that's now Heather. She's listening, so type stop if I'm not allowed to tell the story. But and she was a kid in school in Florida. So there are there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of overlap between Cuban and Puerto Rican cultures, but there's some differences too in terms of words we use.
Yes.
Now, she had gotten in trouble as a little kid in school because there was a bug in the classroom. Cubans use a certain word for bug that in a lot of other Hispanic colloquialisms, it's a very dirty word. So I guess she shouted out bicho, got in trouble in class. And it was one of those, it was, hey, we're Cubans. But,
right.
Yeah, she definitely got in trouble with the teacher for that one.
All Spanish is not the same, folks.
No.
Not even close. Have you ever seen some of those reels where they'll have like a Mexican, a Colombian, a Puerto Rican, and somebody from Spain, and they'll be like, what do you call pencil, right? Lápiz.
Yeah.
And then like the Mexican will have a different word for it, and the Colombian will have another word. Like, it's just so wild how while it's Spanish, we all have different words for different things.
Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Now, okay. I don't know what the official like Spanish name for it is, but you know the little raw sugar loaves that you just get them and you can either like break them down and make sugar, or like as a kid you'd eat them like candy or whatever. It's like a little mini sugar loaf. Growing up in California, the name that most people call them, that's a very dirty word, so you don't say that. But to my surprise, you know, getting outside of California, you go to Florida, you go wherever, and people are just, oh, panocha, and it's like, whoa, like, did your mom just hear you say that?
Heather said that it was in kindergarten that she got sent to the principal, and Principal Hernandez was a bimbo concha.
Oh, there we go.
You know what we'll have to do one day on this show? By the way, this is my last week of teaching this class on Monday night, so I can be a part of it. We'll have to go to the three-headed monster when Joe comes back.
For sure.
We need to take our favorite artists and our favorite foods and figure out who represents what of our favorite foods, right?
Dude,
like,
I love this idea.
How awesome would that be? Like I said that the donuts at NAMI are the Michael Jackson of donuts in this area, because
sure.
I love Michael Jackson. Now I would have to figure out a way to equate why, other than just it's the best donut out there, and I think Michael Jackson is the best artist out there. But come up with like, would Michael Jackson walk into NAMI and order a donut? Like, try to figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I'm actually going to write this down, because this is the kind of thing that, like, when I have too much time on my hands, I'm going to go crazy with. But yes.
We have to figure out, like, if it's a single thing. So, for example, a fried chuleta, it is, if I'm on my deathbed and you want to serve me my last meal, I'm eating a fried chuleta. Like, that's
for sure.
End of story. Even though I eat vegetarian, vegan. So that's a single ingredient product, right? Like,
yes.
it's a, by the way, chuleta is a fried pork chop, people. Like, that would be like Michael Jackson. It's an individual. But if I said I wanted to have a chuleta with arroz con gandules y tostones, and now all of a sudden I've got a band. So the plate is a band, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you could, and not to, so if you're saying that chuleta is Michael Jackson already, and not to, but I would say, okay.
The plate is a Jackson 5.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, okay, maybe for me, I don't know why Tito Puente jumped out, like, front of my head, right? So you had like Tito Puente with like Willy Bobo or Celia Cruz or whoever, and it's like, okay, each one of the accompaniments is who now, you know?
Right,
so you could serve it however many ways. So is this who is Tito Puente performing with tonight? That sort of thing.
Exactly. Heather just wrote that Celia Cruz is the cafecito. Like,
oh, like, 1,000,000%. Cafecito con azúcar.
By the way, I went to the post office today on Central. There's a Cuban coffee shop. Did you know that?
What? No.
Yeah. I walked past it. It says coffee and then in parentheses, Cuban. I'll have to pop in there one day and see what they got besides the cafecito. They've got to have other stuff.
Oh, for sure.
The road is Bad Bunny a PR hot dog.
No, I would say like Bad Bunny is like what, like pernil or something like that, maybe, huh?
The way he dances up there and he's shaking his groove thing, dude, he might be the fucking Puerto Rican hot dog. He could be the pernil of any meal. Like he's gonna elevate whatever else is around that plate
Absolutely.
when he's out there for sure. That is so wild. But that so Joe will be no. He said he's gone to the 21st, so the 20th will be next week. So we'll have to wait until the 27th, and we'll get him on to participate in this conversation. That'll give him like a week or two to come up with food as music artists.
For sure, for sure. No, that's perfect.
And maybe by then I'll figure out how to get Instagram to work with Restream again.
And that's the thing. It sucks when we don't have like the full audience. We've got Heather, we've got Jordan here. We do have some audience participation, which is still great. But yeah, no, again, Restream, just get your shit together. Seriously.
And Meta, seriously, figure it out.
Right? But even still, like this has still been, it's not quite that same. We're not going off on 1,000,001 tangents, but we started talking about what's on your playlist for a 12K and ended up talking about hot dogs. So.
we figured out influencer beef,
Right.
or whether or not influencer beef actually happens. Primas has a fried bologna with yellow mustard, by the way. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
So they actually, there's a company that makes a vegan bologna that is super good. Like you can toss that in a frying pan and just add that to toast with some mustard, and you'll be living.
Is it Delightful? I think they're called. They do the
vegan.
Yep. Have you tried their bootleg vegan Spam?
No, I've been looking for the Spam because I love Spam.
It's fantastic. Next time I see it, sometimes they have it at the Safeway by me, I'll grab 2 and I'll bring you one. It's because I could win the lottery tomorrow. And still, there are going to be times when I'm craving Spam and eggs and rice.
100%, dude.
I don't care if that's a struggle meal or not.
100%.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Heather corrected me. She said Primas is the band, not a store. I was like, man, shit. I was ready to go find Primas as a restaurant to go get a fried bologna sandwich. I will forever eat Spam, dude. Like it is amazing. And do you? His name just slipped my mind. Miles and Splats is Phil.
Phil, yes.
So Phil and I had a DM exchange a few weeks ago about Spam because Phil is Filipino. Say that 17 times fast. And we were having a conversation about how he loves Spam as well, but because of the U.S. Army and the government and how the soldiers were using it essentially as an incentive to entice the Filipinos into becoming subservient to America at the time, like there's like this disconnect between Spam and the Filipino culture. And I was explaining to him, like, it's no different than just about any other country in the world where the U.S. has tried to colonize, where they'll use food and to help entice poor countries into becoming a part of the United States. And this is no fucking theory, right? Like this is the reality of what has happened with this country. And like we got into the conversation about Spam, and then just he sent me a link to an article about like this pull in the Filipino culture between people who love Spam and the people who are telling them, but look, this is how the Americans basically push their way into the Philippines to essentially, it's not take over, but I think you get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I think, again, I'm sure there are examples, and I as soon as we're off of this, I'm sure I'll think of a million of them to pop in my head. But throughout the whole Caribbean, it's been a history of one colonizer after another. So there are a lot of examples of Caribbean cuisine. Obviously me being both Cuban and Jamaican, Jamaica in particular, you see the influence of so many different colonizers, over the course of history. Yeah. Same thing with Cuba, same thing with Puerto Rico, whatever. And it does. When you really stop and think about it, it's like, damn, this is kind of messed up that this has become a cultural touchstone out of necessity, I suppose, at a certain point. But nevertheless, it's like, it makes you wonder, what would, the food scene in whatever given country look like? Not even necessarily, because I don't want to get into, some sort of like isolationist whatever, but
right.
if certain things weren't foisted on these cultures, put it that way.
100%, no doubt about that. Hey, dude, we've been going for almost an hour and 10 minutes, which, by the way, still shocks the hell out of me because this show, when we launched it 2 or 3 years ago, was intended to be about 20 to 30 minutes. Right. It has become an hour and 15-minute show at this point, which is wild to think about. And I love the fact that none of it ever stays on topic. It was, no. What song are you listening to during a 12K, and what songs do you listen to during a 500K? Down to the colonization of the Philippines, Cuba, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico, for that matter.
We still didn't get. Joe had texted back again, so I'm going to get back to him in a second here. But we still didn't get his playlist, so maybe that'll be next time. We'll go over what's keeping him going during his 50K or 500K.
500K.
We keep
10x that.
Changing him.
For those of you who have hung around with Santino and I and listened to me bring Heather and Jordan into the conversation, we appreciate you. Do us a favor, subscribe, rate, review the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you check us out on YouTube so you could see our faces as we laugh throughout the entire show. We'll be back next week. I guess when we produce it, it'll be July 27th. But we'll be back next week, and we'll be touting the finish at that point, or pretty damn close to the finish at that point, of Joe at Vol State 500. Dude, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Of course, thank you. This has been awesome as always.
We'll see you, brother.
Later.